Hello everybody, Weeb Rabbit here, and today I wanted to give my thoughts slash, I guess you can say, reaction to Nintendo's announcement about the new OLED Switch model. I didn't record myself doing like a live reaction because honestly, it's the type of thing where I didn't find out until later in the day. You know, I think it was like Tuesday, middle of the day when Nintendo talked about the new OLED version. Maybe it might have been in the morning, I'm not too sure. By the time I saw it, I kind of got spoiled because I saw stuff on Twitter and all sorts of social media. So I just saw parts of it here and there. Wasn't able to record like a, reaction to like the trailer itself or anything. But I still want to kind of go over the details, explaining, maybe for anyone who doesn't know, maybe explaining a little bit of like what is new about the new OLED Switch version. And to just give my overall reactions to it, So to begin with, like I said, it was about Tuesday when Nintendo announced that there was going to be a new Switch version. And a lot of people have been thinking it was going to be the Nintendo Switch Pro, or whatever they decided to call it. People were hoping it was going to be this new version of the Switch that, maybe it would do like 4K and it would have a better processor, just run games better, etc. And unfortunately, it's not quite that. It's honestly a very small upgrade. Basically what this Switch is, like the biggest pull, is that instead of the 5.5 inch LED screen from the Nintendo Switch Lite, or the 6.2 inch LED screen from the regular Switch, this version has a 7 inch OLED screen. And, OLED, however you pronounce it, it's this better type of technology where instead of having a backlight, from what I understand, that powers the screen up, every pixel like has its own light or something like that. So that way, like the blacks look blacker, the colors look more colorful, everything pops a little better. I know I've heard people talk about that, they have like an OLED phone or computer or TV or whatever, and apparently it's supposed to make everything look way better. Like there is a difference between LED and OLED or OLED. Besides that, other changes, the color is definitely different. The standard Switch up to now has been usually like the gray one or the blue with red, or if you're getting one of the Nintendo Switch Lites, there's blue, pink, yellow, etc. This is supposed to be a totally different color. I think it looks really nice, honestly. It seems like it's kind of going with, even though it's not like officially tied into Metroid Dread, it kind of reminds me like the colors kind of go with it, you know what I mean? And it makes sense because it does release on October 8th, same day as Metroid Dread. So definitely a new color palette, bigger screen like I said, better screen. And besides that, other changes, in case you guys are wondering, it's supposed to have better built-in speakers. The storage is supposed to be double what it is now. Right now, a standard Switch comes with 32 gigabytes of internal storage. This is going to have 64 gigs of internal storage. And besides that, it also has a kickstand that's a bit different. While the Switch up to now has had like a little flimsy little kickstand that basically covers the micro SD card slot, this one basically takes up like the whole back of the Switch, so it's a really nice beefy stand. And I believe that's it. I believe honestly the only upgrades are the screen, the speakers, the storage, the flap. Oh, and the last thing, it's not really much of an upgrade, but in case you guys are wondering about the battery life for this new Switch is supposed to be similar to the 2019 revision versus the original 2017 version. So while the 2017 version of the Switch, the battery life is supposed to be anywhere from like I think 2.5 hours to 7 hours depending on what you're playing, this one should be like 4.5 to 9 hours. So when it comes to my opinion of this new Switch, on the one hand, it is disappointing that we didn't get the Switch Pro. I honestly think it would have been really cool to get a Switch with better, graphics, better processor, runs games better, better frame rate, that sort of thing. I definitely think that would have been really cool. I think that definitely would have been the next logical step, since a lot of people are looking forward to that. As I was talking to a buddy of mine called Terrific, that I collaborate with him a lot on this channel, I think it would have made sense because there's some games like Hyrule Warriors, for instance, Age of Calamity, when you try to play that game, like the frame rate just chugs and the game gets really slow and you can tell that it can't handle what's on screen. So, I think it would have been nice to have gotten like an upgrade. That way it could have handled a game like that. So on the one hand, I am pretty disappointed Nintendo didn't go in that direction. But on the other hand, it's the kind of thing where a lot of people feel, it seems like it feels like they feel like they were owed a Nintendo Switch Pro. And the thing is that Nintendo never promised it. It was always a bunch of rumors. Every time Nintendo was asked, they were honest and they said, we don't have a Nintendo Switch Pro coming, etc. Like they never lied. It's not like they lied or like covered up or anything. They seemed pretty honest that, they weren't working on a Nintendo Switch Pro at the moment. So on the one hand, I think it is kind of silly when people seem like they feel like they're owed a Nintendo Switch Pro. But, at the same time, I get it. People wanted a better upgrade. This does seem like a very minor upgrade compared to what people wanted. But like I said, I understand. Nintendo never promised one. So at the same time, you can't be mad at something that didn't promise. Not only that, but as much as it is kind of sucky that this is the only upgrade we're getting, like 4 or 5 years into the Switch's life, I do think it makes sense. Because once again, I was talking to a buddy of mine called Terrific, and he says that he's actually really excited for this new system because, he bought a Nintendo Switch day one. Him and his wife have been sharing the same system up to now. And he says that he thinks it's really cool because he wouldn't mind giving his older system to his wife since she only plays stuff like Animal Crossing, stuff that, maybe she doesn't really care too much about the graphics or any of that stuff. And for he, who likes to play a lot of other stuff like Fire Emblem and your Links and your Marios and etc., he can get himself a better system. And I think that, in that sense, it does make sense. If you're one of those people who bought a day one Switch, then it does make sense to buy, this version because it is a bit of an upgrade, a few years later. So on that hand, I think it's kind of cool, Same thing, I bought a Switch day one and I wouldn't mind maybe buying this because it is a bit of an upgrade. My old Switch, I don't know, maybe, there's some stuff where like the battery isn't lasting as long as I would like to, or, maybe I just want a bit of an upgrade. It's been a few years. So there you have it, guys. Overall, hopefully I provided all the stats to you guys so you guys kind of get the difference of like the new Switch versus the old one. And hopefully you kind of see both ways that on the one hand, I understand why people are upset. And I'm not trying to, totally say that Nintendo's not at fault, because I do think they make a lot of dumb decisions, and I think it would have been incredible if they listened to fans and gave them what they wanted. I think that would have been like really, really awesome. But on the other hand, it's the kind of thing where like, hey, Nintendo never did promise a new system, so you can't really be mad at what they didn't promise. And what they are giving us is kind of cool. Like I said, if you're one of those people that bought a day one Switch, then, maybe you don't mind a new upgrade. Maybe to you it is worth it, That way you can maybe hand down your old Switch to somebody else. So, there you have it, guys. Let me know in the comments below. Do you think you'll buy yourself a new Switch? Oh, by the way, one last thing I forgot to mention. The new model is supposed to be $50 more than the current Switch. So, that might help some people make a decision. Some people, they might think, yeah, for $50 more, not bad. I know a lot of people, usually if you want like a new phone with a few extra bells and whistles, that's usually what it costs. Anywhere from like $30 to $50 for like a minor upgrade. So there you have it. Let me know in the comment section below. Do you think that you'll be getting yourself a new OLED version of the Switch? Do you think you'll just wait to see if one day they really do give us the Switch Pro? Or are you one of those people that, you've had day one Switch, you don't really mind, you'll just stick with what you have, Let me know in the comment section below. Besides that, if you like what you saw, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Until next time, my name is Weeb. Bye-bye.